Hey, Jackie Lee here, and this is My Wham Life. And today I was driving home from dropping Hannah off at school, and I heard on the radio that today is Joni Mitchell's 70th birthday. And so big shout out to Joni Mitchell. Happy birthday. It's a weird story. Joni Mitchell is, I've been a fan for probably 20 years now. I first found Joni Mitchell when I was recently graduated from college, early 90s. I was in a tumultuous relationship with a wonderful soul, but he was really broken, and I was crazy in love, and so I spent most of my 90% of my time crushed. It was a really, really rough time in my life, but I somehow found a Joni Mitchell album. It was blue, and I listened to it 24 hours a day, and just fell into the music. And it's nuts now because I don't even have to hear the music. I can just hear the name Joni Mitchell and I'm transported instantly back to that time and those feelings, the feelings I was having during that time in my life. And it is such a strong pull because I've attached that with Joni Mitchell. I was going to play a little bit of Joni Mitchell in the background while I was doing this video, and I couldn't even concentrate. I was like, let's go back to that shitty time and let's think about that. I seriously could not even concentrate a bit, so I just turned it off and went without it. What's so insane about this is that it's just an instantaneous thing. That connection was made 20 years ago, and even today, this mere mention of her name, just a happy birthday, Joni Mitchell, on the radio. And boom, I'm instantly back. The person I was then. Feeling the things I felt then. So who cares, really? I mean, why? You're thinking, well, what does this have to do with anything? It has everything to do with it. You have the ability with your stories and your voice and your words and your connections to do the exact same thing for people. Do you hear me? You can be Joni Mitchell for someone. The question is, what kind of connection are you going to create with your name to that person? Here's a perfect example of someone in real life who doesn't make me feel like Joni Mitchell. Ashley Amberge from the Middle Finger Project. She, I've followed her probably for 5 or 6 years now. I've bought her products. When I see her posts come up, her blog post, I read them, every single one. If I see them first through email, I see them in the email, I read them in the email, then I click over and I read them on the blog. If I see her post on Facebook, I stop and I read it. And here's why. Because Ashley, she gives me permission to let the feisty out. Does that make sense? She is so awesome in her feistiness that she gives me permission to let that piece of me shine. She doesn't do it by, writing posts about how you need to go out there and be feisty. No, she shares her stories, her crazy antics, and she has some crazy antics, let me tell you. She shares them, and simply by being her feistiness, she gives me permission to do it in my life. So now, Ashley and the Middle Finger Project are totally connected with me going into the world as my feistiness. It's pretty awesome because every time, just like Joni Mitchell, every time I think of Ashley, that's how I feel. And that's what I think about. Ashley is not for everyone. She is bold and she is brass and she cusses and I love it. She's perfect for me. Joni Mitchell's not for everyone either. Whether these two ladies are your cup of tea doesn't really matter because there's someone somewhere in the world who does that for you. And you, if you choose to walk into the world and share your inner being and your light with the world, you can be that person for someone else. Do you get that? Do you get how powerful it is to be Joni Mitchell? You know what I mean? To instantly be able to create that emotion and take someone instantly somewhere, and you get to choose what those things are by how you walk in the world and the messages that you share. It's crazy powerful, but you've got to be really on purpose about it. I'm sure Joni Mitchell was going through her own stuff. And those two things in my life at that time collided. And so it was a perfect pairing. But I know that Ashley is very on purpose about how she shows up in the world. And she does it so she can connect with the people who need to hear that message, who need permission to walk in the world feisty. Does she sell lots of products? Hell yeah. But she doesn't sell products by saying, go buy this, go buy this, go buy this. She sells products by connecting you with your inner feisty and giving you permission to walk in the world that way. And then you just love her so much that you want whatever she's got. You want to know what she's got next. And so you follow her. You follow what she's doing. You read her blogs. And as soon as she gets a new product out, if it's for me personally, this is me personally, because I've come through a journey in buying lots and lots of everything, I immediately read it and see what it's about. And then I see if it fits what I'm working on right now instantly. It's not about choosing whether or not I want to buy the product. Absolutely, I want to buy the product. It's about whether it's a fit for what I'm doing right now. So can you imagine if you had a relationship with people where they didn't even think twice about whether they were going to buy it? It was about whether it was going to fit. So if they were going to buy it right now for where they were right now. There's been times when I've gone back to Ashley's old products because then they were suddenly a fit for what I was working on. So I immediately thought of her, went back to her product page and bought the product she maybe had sold 2 years ago. But it was a fit for me then, so I immediately thought of her as the solution for what I needed right then. And I went back and I bought it 2 years later. But it's not because she's selling me products. It's because she's selling me permission to be feisty. She's not even selling it. She's giving it away. She's giving me permission to walk in the world the feisty redhead that I am. And that connects with me. So you need to get clear about how you're walking in the world and what you're doing to help people in their journey. And when you can make that connection, there won't be a question. They'll just love you and they'll want to do more with you. And that's what it's all about. Okay, so I'm going to try and not turn this Joni Mitchell back on so I can actually get some work done. I don't need to go back there. That was a bad time. We're in good times now. I don't know if it's going to work. All right, you guys, if you would like to learn more about me and, follow me and do maybe what I'm doing, or at least work with me a little bit, click the link below. There's another video. It's a quick explanation of what I do. Put your email address in, and let's stay connected. I'll talk to you later.